What up, what up, what up? We back. Freewenow.
Till it's backwards.
Yes, Sirski. Okay, back with another episode. Look, and today, it's time to get our life right. All right?
Time to get it right.
It's December. All right, we got January 1st, New Year's approaching, right? And you know, when this time come around, everybody's like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
New Year's, new me.
New year, new me. You know what I'm saying? So today we're going to talk about New Year's resolutions, pros and cons of having New Year's resolutions, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, biggest mistakes, biggest tips. What you got for the people?
Hey, man, as always, follow me on Instagram at Chief_Gilmore. Follow on Twitter as Call Me Sweat. And I got a little something for y'all this morning.
Okay,
you know, I always like
what
to
you
start
got?
the podcast off with a little something, right?
All right, what you got?
So start with the truth. Stay with the truth. That way you end, you only have to answer for the truth.
One more time.
Start with the truth. Stay with the truth. That way when you end, you only have to answer for the truth. Hey, man, that's a little biblical for y'all right there.
You know what I'm saying?
Deeper meaning there.
You know what I'm talking about? All right, look. So, first off, what are New Year's resolutions?
So, honestly, sometimes they can be Band-Aids.
Ooh.
Sometimes they can be Band-Aids, and a lot of people don't like to admit that sometimes your New Year's resolution is just like putting makeup on a zit. It's just like, I got a problem, so I'm going to make sure everybody knows, hey, I got a New Year resolution. I'm about to be a new me. I'm about to do new things. Like, I'm going to bigger and better things, but knowing really that they have no honest drive towards making this better, right? I looked at resolution before and it said it's like a firm decision to do or not do something, right? So it is a firm decision, right? So I'm gonna tell you right now, if every single year you have the same New Year's resolution, you need to add one to your resolutions, and it's called accountability because you have none, right? That is very important. Resolutions are something that you're supposed to follow through on.
Right.
This is the whole reason that you made this resolution at the beginning of the year. You've seen something throughout, whether it was 2023, 2022, 2021, the previous year of what you needed to improve on.
For sure.
So why would you make this resolution and not follow through on it? Like, we're all about improving and bettering ourselves, so we need to start holding ourselves accountability for the resolutions that we make.
He started off strong. My boy said they can be Band-Aids. It's like putting makeup on the zits.
Yes.
So you have to attack the root, right? So, you know, this time comes around, man. I want to say, bro, if you start your resolution, what do they say? Like, takes like 21 days to form a habit or something like that. So if you start your resolution on the first, I think you kind of giving yourself a bad hand, right? Like, if you really want to start the new year off to a great start, in my opinion, I think you should start your New Year's resolution December.
So that way when the new year comes, it's already
You're already doing it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think because, like you said, resolution, right, is a decision. It's not a choice, right? So the word decide, right, means to cut yourself off from other possibilities, from other options, other possibilities, right? I'm cutting myself off from choosing anything else, right? A choice is like, okay, I could choose this or I could choose that. You know what I'm saying? Like, a choice is not, okay, I picked that, but you didn't really take action. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, a decision, you're cutting yourself off from anything that can be a distraction or not contributing to whatever you decided upon. You know what I'm saying? So I agree, bro. New Year's resolutions definitely can be a Band-Aid, right? So let's not let 2024 be a year of Band-Aids, right? A year of putting just makeup on, right? Like, let's attack the root. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to the root of the issue and root of who you are, right? So you mentioned accountability, bro. So with New Year's resolutions, right, a tip that I have for you guys is get in the environment of people who also have those same New Year's resolutions. Yeah. So if I'm like, Keith, bro, I wanna lose weight this year, right? I'm not gonna go and join a group of people where they probably just play video games all day. Yeah. Because it's gonna be hard to lose weight just sitting around playing video games. Right? Now, if you're trying to be the next Twitch streamer and make $1 million or whatever from playing video games, then you need to go over there and do that. Exactly. Right? So just get around people in the environment of people that are contributing to your growth for New Year's resolutions. What are some of the goals? What are some common things that we hear a lot, bro, for New Year's resolutions?
As you started off with one, a lot of them are usually, I want to lose weight. I want to make more money. I think there's a wide range of different things that people make New Year's resolutions for. Majority of them are sometimes just to better their lives, and a lot of them things are removing things from their life that they don't need in it, right? Like I want to cut these certain type of people out of my life, right? I want to cut smoking out. Like I want to stop smoking. I want to stop drinking. I want to stop doing these certain things. Like a lot of people, I wouldn't say a lot of people, but sometimes you have to understand New Year's resolutions isn't always about doing something, as in like adding something. It could be taking something away, right? Because a lot of times what we do is we try to add so many things to cover up what we need to take away, right? You're kind of filling that void. Like, well, if I over flood myself with all these positive things, that negative thing that I still do is going to get drowned out, right? But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many positive things you do or how many great things you do if that negative thing is still at the source of everything that you do, right? So sometimes you have to understand, like, take some things out of your life, right? Because these things are beneficial. They make me more healthy. They make me more productive. And even sometimes they just make me feel better about myself.
Right.
Your New Year's resolutions don't got to be grand things. It doesn't have to be something that's highly visible. Like everybody's going to see me make more money. Everybody's going to see me get this new car. Everybody's going to see me get this house. Like your New Year's resolution could be something as simple as you're the only person that notices it when you look in the mirror. And it doesn't matter that nobody else gets it because you stayed true to your decision to do that.
You know what's interesting to me, man? No matter what spectrum a person may be on, no matter what their background, their race, gender, right, how much money they're making, it's kind of like amazing that everybody still has a New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
Right. And it's amazing to me that like no matter where you are on Earth, really, right? No matter the country, the continent, there's this kind of like innate urge to kind of, you know, be better. You know what I'm saying? And it shows you that also, no matter what level you're on, there's always another level, right? There's always room for improvement, right? So that's for the person that may feel like they're not worthy enough. Hey, you know, XYZ, even if you do accomplish these things, don't think that when you accomplish it, work is done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning, right? And so a lot of times I think people try to make New Year's resolutions a fix-all or cures. You know what I mean? Like, I think we shouldn't look at a New Year's resolution as a cure. You know, I'm like, I don't think there's a real cure for January 1st. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think these should all be like small gradual steps to get you to whatever that cure is. Because if you start off too big, another tip for y'all, like even for myself, trying to make too big of a goal to start off with, you fall short, and it's almost kind of like damaging to your psyche to be like, oh, I can't even accomplish this. You know what I mean? Like, or it's so big that like I don't even know the steps to take to get to that point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times you may not even know what to do because the goal is so big, right? That you kind of get analysis paralysis. You know what I'm saying? So where you don't know what to do, you don't know where to go. The dream is too big. It's so big. Not saying you don't dream big, but you need to have a big dream, but small steps in place that you can take to get to that dream, and not just, okay, boom, a big overarching goal and I don't know any steps. You know what I'm saying? Or I haven't taken any steps or action items to get to that point.
Yeah.
So why do you think people even make New Year's resolutions in the first place?
Some people make them because they sound cool. I think some people really make them because they sound cool. Like you said, it is like a universal thing. Like people in different countries make New Year's resolutions all the time, right? It's just like a check in the box. Like, oh, it's a new year coming up. I have to make a New Year's resolution, right? Even though I know I'm not going to follow it on, I have to kind of go with the masses to make a New Year's resolution, right? And then a lot of times, like sometimes in life, what you need is just a new beginning. Like a fresh start really puts you in that mode to be better, right? Have you ever been at a school too long, been at a place too long, been in a job too long, that it feels like there's nothing motivating you to be better? But it's like you get to a different environment, right? You transfer to a new school, you start a new job or a new position, right? And it's kind of like this fresh breath of air that motivates you to be better, right? Like I'm no longer staying with the same habits because I don't have those habits for this particular case, right? So I think sometimes just having that new start makes people feel good. Like even when people make like resolutions throughout the year, it's like I'm gonna start it on Monday because it's the beginning of the week, right? So everything that I did this week is kind of deleted because Monday I'm going to start new, right? But as you said, that shouldn't always be the fix all, right? That shouldn't be the cure. Like, let me wait till next year on the 1st of January to start doing something that makes me better, right? As you said, it should be a continuing resolution, right? It's a step-by-step guide that at this new year, I've already been doing this thing. Now I take the next step. Now I take the next step. Now I take the next. You should have a New Year's resolution monthly. There should be something you're working towards monthly that is an improvement off the previous month. So when you get to your New Year's resolution, it is kind of like the stamp. Like I done did all the steps to finally make this thing official for me, right?
Yeah.
So like I said, sometimes people do it to be a part of the masses because it sounds cool, but a lot of people just want improvement. Like there's no better feeling than doing something better or doing something more than you've been doing.
Right.
Like when you get something new in your life, you're like, whoa, this is great. Like when you come up with a new idea, you come up with a new freestyle, you get a nice picture, you get a new something. It's like, you feel better, right?
Right.
You want to keep adding to that. You want to keep proving that you can be better and better, right? So I think sometimes that's why people make that New Year's resolution.
Yeah, I think you mentioned a good point, bro, about having monthly measurable goals, right, to measure whatever you're going after, right? So I looked it up, right? So I guess they have like the SMART method, right? So when you're making resolutions or goals, right, they should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and you should have a time bound for it, right? So going back to what you said and what I said earlier about them being too big of a dream, right, with no actionable steps, also having monthly goals that you should strive for, right, is huge, right? So it should be specific. Okay, I want to lose weight. That's not specific enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, I want to look like this. Okay, well, I need you to be a little bit more specific. Give me an example. Well, by March 1st, right, I want to have lost 10 pounds. Or I want to be down a size in this, right? Or for 30 minutes each day, I'm going to walk. You know what I mean? Or I'm going to do cardio for X amount of time, doing a specific exercise, right? For a specific amount of time, right? So that way it's measurable, it's specific, right? It's attainable because you're starting off small first and you're working out to it. It's relevant because you want to lose weight, right? So it's still relevant, right? And you have a time bound goal, right? That you can check to it every week, every day if you wanted to. You know what I mean? A lot of times we make these goals or we make resolutions, right? But it's like, okay, hey, I want to be a millionaire. Okay, cool. Like, how are you going to get there? Or, hey, I want to be the next best author. Okay, cool. That's great. I believe in you. But like, what are you going to be doing every day to get to that point? You know what I mean? So I think the SMART method, I'll say it again, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound, right, should be how you set your goals up for the new year.
To add on to that, right, one thing I think that is big with the New Year's goals, New Year's resolutions, right, is don't get discouraged. Commitment is not perfection. Let me say that one more time. Commitment is not perfection, right? Commitment is being able to fail and continue to find another way to be better, right? So when you make these New Year's resolutions, January 1st, wherever you make it, right? That doesn't mean if on January 7th you didn't do what you were supposed to do, that you wait until January 1st of next year to pick it back up, right?
Right.
You're going to have trip ups. You're going to fail at certain things. You're going to miss days. Like, we all know that life is hard. There's so many different things pulling us in so many different directions that there is no way you can be perfect, right? But it is the commitment that, yo, yesterday I didn't meet the mark, but today I'm going to meet that mark. And the next day I'm going to meet that mark. And I may slip up again in 2 or 3 months, but then again, I'm going to keep meeting that mark. You want to make sure that you're succeeding more than you have the chance to fail, right? That you have to constantly take those steps, right? When you get a setback, that means I need to take 2 steps forward next time, right? And you gotta keep building that up, right? But also with that commitment, that doesn't mean that, well, I messed up on January 5th, so it doesn't really matter on January 20th if I continue to mess up. Or you start making a mess up a part of your schedule. Like every week, I'm not going to do this because I did it on this day, right? So stay committed to the grind. Stay committed to what you have put in your New Year's resolution, right? Because if you lie to yourself, you're willing to lie to anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what Myron Golden say, he said, you're the only person who has heard every lie you've ever told. That's why when you tell yourself you're going to do something and you don't do it, your subconscious mind knows, hey, well, he said this. If he can't go and wash the dishes when he said he was going to wash the dishes, how can he go build a $10 million company?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you say, and this is another thing, I think I challenge y'all to stop doing this, and I stopped doing it as well. Hey, yeah, I'm going to hit you back. I'm going to hit you back. And you never call them back. You know what I'm saying? But it's like those little small lies, that it's a lie, right? Those little small lies of you saying you're going to do something and then you don't do it. And then you turn around and say, hey, I want to lose 30 pounds. Your mind, your inner conscious, yourself, you're the only person who has heard every lie you've ever told.
It becomes kind of part of your framework.
It becomes part of your framework, your coding. You know what I'm saying? Your mental capacity to believe that you can do something is now not as strong because you have continuously told yourself these small lies, right? So I challenge y'all to hold your word like strong and dear and sincere to yourself. So it's not just about, part of it is like, okay, I don't want to be known as a liar. Cool, right? But you have to have the confidence in yourself. The word confidence, right, is to confide in self. Right? If you break the word down, confide in self. So if you don't confide truthfully to yourself, you're going to lack confidence, right? A lot of confidence is just believing that what you say about yourself can actually happen. And that comes with repetition, doing it. You know what I'm saying? There's no substitution for action, right? Okay. So another quote, right, that I'm starting to fall in love with, I mentioned a couple of times on the podcast, is falling in love with the journey, right? So Keith just mentioned about how don't become discouraged, right? Commitment, right? A lot of times we make these goals not understanding it's not the goal that changes you. It's the journey and the struggle and the chase and you overcoming that, whatever you're going through in the midst of you going for that goal is what really changes you, right? So the quote is, the man that loves walking will walk further than the person that loves the destination. The man that loves walking will walk further than the man that loves the destination. What do you mean? The person that enjoys the journey of walking, they just love walking. I'm going to walk further than the person that hates it and they're just doing it to get to the checkpoint, right? I'm going to look up and I'm going to have passed you and lapped you and it's a marathon, not a sprint. Rest in peace to Nip. It's a marathon. So the person that enjoys the marathon and not the sprint, that's the person that's going to win the race. You know what I'm saying? So in this New Year resolution time period, right? And whenever you're setting your goals, understand you're doing this not for the goal, but you're doing it for yourself because you're going to become better for it, right? Throughout this journey. So love the journey.
Touching on that, one thing to add. So you got to believe it's something that you can achieve, right? It's got to be something that, you know, not only do you believe that you can achieve, but it's something that you believe that you want to do, like something that you actually want to do, right? Believe in what you're saying is going to be your New Year's resolution. Believe you have the capability to do that. Believe that you're going to find the way to do that, right? Because if you don't believe in something, you're just aimlessly walking, right? It's like the deaf leading the blind, right? I don't believe in this topic or I don't believe in this resolution, but I'm going to say it because it sounds good, right? You have to truly and utterly believe it's yours. Like, believe that you've accomplished it when you're making the plan, right? Visualize yourself at the end of that journey, right? Sometimes that's what you need to push through, right? Visualizing yourself at the end goal, right? Like one thing that I've started to do is visualize things that I want in life, right? I see myself in it, right? Even if it's something as simple as a new car, right? I visualize the smell of the leather, right? I visualize the look of the car. I visualize the trim. I visualize how the lights are going to light up on the dashboard. I visualize how the carpet is going to feel like. Yeah. I make it so much a part of my being and I believe it so much. I make it so real that there is no way I can't attain it, right? You have to believe in what you're doing, right? You have to see the end goal so that you know what you're working to. A lot of times, like, people like to color outside the lines, right? So one thing that I'm trying to get people to do, right? You have a picture in your head, right? Think outside the box, but color inside the lines, right? Visualize a picture in what you're going to do, right? Hold
on. We in the school zone. We got to drive slow. On that. We in the school zone. Right, he said, think outside the box, but color inside the lines.
And what I mean by that is stay true to the picture that you have, the picture that you see, right? That doesn't mean don't change how the picture looks. Don't be afraid to change the color. I need a darker shade of blue. I need a lighter shade of red, right? But you have the framework for what you believe in, right? You have the framework for what you visualize as your end goal. And when you have those lines, right, you have a set standard of what you believe in, nobody can take you out of it. So when you're chasing a dream, nobody can pull you outside of the lines of that. You tell them, no, I'll change it to a different color blue, but we're going to stay inside these lines. This is what the picture is going to look like. It may have different shades. It may have different hues, but I will not start coloring outside of the lines to make this picture yours. It will be mine.
And on that note, right, and I think this is a great segue for us going into 2024, right? And some of the things and some of the goals that we have that we're already working on right now, right? It is already set in place. We're already doing it right now, right, to make it effective for the next year. But one of those is we've had a picture of what we want our podcast to look like. We have a picture of what you want to say when you look at our podcast, how you want to feel when you're watching our podcast. We have a vision of how we want to pull up somewhere and people look at us and they, you know what I'm saying, and the questions that they're asking us, right? We are very specific and consistently remind each other of what that picture looks like, right? And that is us thinking outside of the box, right? So we can also visualize everything and see. So if we do need to adapt, if we do need to pivot, we can. For instance, that's what we're doing right now, right? So the picture is going to be the same, right? The message is going to be the same, but we're going to color a little differently in this picture, right? And give you a little different content, right? So our content now is going to have the same message, but we're going to deliver it in a way that's a little bit more digestible, right? It's a little bit more relevant.
Because we too in y'all face.
Right.
Do this, do that, do this.
We've been doing a little bit too much finger pointing. You know what I mean? But we are, truthful and adaptable to the point of where, like, okay, look, this what's working, this is what's not working, right? This is what we need to do to get to where we want to be with what would work or what could work, right? So we're gonna be rolling out different things, right? So even on our podcast, don't think that we're just talking to you and we're not talking to ourselves.
Yeah, I've taken a lot.
You know what I mean? Like everything that we're telling y'all to do is because we're doing it as well, right? So what are some of the goals that you have individually that you want to kind of take into 2024 to elevate your life?
So definitely one of the goals is buying my own property, right? So don't get me wrong, renting a place is cool, right? Having a house to live is cool, right? But I don't want to keep dumping money into something that I'm not going to eventually own, right? Something that's not going to work for me. So buying my own property is something that's very big for me, right? And also staying committed to this podcast, right? Like when we started it, I believe it was back in July last year, right? We had already been doing content for years prior to that, right? And then even sometimes during this year, we slacked off, right? We found that we were committed to this goal, but like I said before, there's trip ups, right? I'm telling you these things because these are things that have happened to us, right? So being more consistent with what we're doing, right? Limiting the amount of trip ups that we have, right? Because this is something that we were just telling them out there, bro. When we get in front of the camera, it feels different. Like it feels like this is the place we belong, right?
Facts.
So if I feel that way, right, why can't I commit to that goal like tirelessly? You know what I'm saying? Just like waking up and brushing your teeth in the morning. It's so easy, right? And that's how I want to treat this the same way, right? I want to give that attention towards this, right? And then, other small personal goals, right? Be more consistent on like how I cook at home and stuff like that. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I'm a eating out crackhead, boy. I love eating out. I love eating out. It's the
convenient, bro. It's so
great,
convenient,
right?
yo.
But also I found that little joy in cooking things of my own, right? Not only do I save money and it lasts a little longer, right? But it's something that is a part of me, right? Like I put my time and my effort into that, right? So I find a little bit more value, right? So finding the small things and the things that I'm committing to, just a couple things that I've been looking at.
Facts. No, those are huge, man. I think I have some of the same goals too. I think I have like 3 themes or 4 themes, right? Moving into 2024. First one is consistency, right? Is you mentioned it. We make a lot of good moves or we can have a lot of great ideas, but if we're not committed and being consistent to it, it doesn't matter, right? So consistency is one. Taking action, right? Like we can know, hey, you need to invest your money in XYZ, right? What Ian Dunlap say? 2 tech, 2 index. You know what I'm saying? Like having the VTI, VOO, Apple, Microsoft, right? You can know that. I can know that all day, but if I don't do it, I'm no better off than a person that doesn't even have the knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
It might be worse.
You might be worse off because you have the knowledge. You are worse off because you have the knowledge and you didn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Right. So being consistent, taking action, limiting my distractions. Right. So not participating in things that are distraction. Right. So distractions, the thing about distraction, it's not going to say, hey, I'm a distraction. Don't do this because I'm distracting you. Right. Distractions is going to look in scrolling on Instagram. Distractions are so subtle. Right? Because they're not harming anybody, right? It's not like, hey, you're drinking and driving, right? Or, you know what I'm saying, you doing drugs or you out partying. You can say, oh, I'm not doing that. I'll be in the house. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing that. I'm in the house. I'm chilling. I'm not outside. Y'all outside. I'm not outside. But whatever you're doing, is that distracting you from your goals? Is watching Netflix gonna get you to your goal? You know what I'm saying? Is texting somebody and being on the phone all day, right? On FaceTime all day, is that gonna help you get to your goals?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is watching YouTube, watching you know what's so crazy, bro? I think it's so crazy, bro, and we're part of the same generation, but it's so crazy to me that you can watch a YouTube of somebody else doing a reaction video to another YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can look at you and be like, man, and I'm having a reaction to you having a reaction to somebody else's YouTube. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like so many people, we get caught in this. At least you could be doing a reaction video to somebody else, right? Instead of you watching and then that person just watching and everybody just watching. Yeah. Nobody's doing anything, everybody's just watching. All right, so being consistent, taking action, limiting your distractions, and the last one for me, bro, is trusting God.
Do it.
You know what I'm saying? And I notice when I'm not trusting, you can say you're trusting God all day, but if you're worried, you're not in faith.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're constantly figuring out, man, I wonder if it's gonna work. Man, if you put so much pressure on yourself that you don't allow God to do his thing, let God cook. You know what I'm saying? You like, man, the food I'm tasting not good is because you ain't letting God cook. Let him work. Let him cook up. Do your part, right? You gotta do your part. You know, faith without works is dead. You gotta do your part. But after that, let God cook. Stop trying to do our part and his part. And forcing it and making it and trying to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Do your part and let God cook. So that's what we going. So that's what we going to in 2024, and those gonna be the things of my life, right? So with that, right? What do you feel that is the difference maker between a person that sticks to their New Year's resolution and a person that doesn't stick to their New Year's resolution?
I think it's the doubt in themselves, right? So as I said, you have to believe in it, right? So doubt is as simple as, let me say this, like, right? There's sometimes I doubt myself in a sense, right? So we'll put out a podcast, right? And I'll be waiting for what people think of what I say. Or I'll start critiquing what I say so much, not in the views of my eyes, but in the views of, like, what if I was somebody else watching it, right? And I'm wondering, like, why am I doubting? Why am I so worried about what people think about what I say, right? Why do I take away the knowledge or the gift that I've given by criticizing myself in a sense of not in a productive criticizing, but a criticizing to tear down, right? To try to change the thing that's already put out there, right? And that's because I was doubting myself. So I feel like people that stick to their resolutions and people that don't, the simple thing is doubt, right? Like, if you doubt yourself the entire way, you will never get to that growth, or you will never be able to build, right? If every single time you do something that's productive or positive, you're sitting here critiquing it in a way that's destroying the gift that you're giving out, then you're never going to stick to it, right? So like I said before, you have to believe so much that it is true when you close your eyes, that you can see every single nook and cranny, scratch, imperfection. You can see everything as if it's sitting right in front of you. That is how you build that up. Okay. That's how you stick to them goals.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, I think, man, so on that note, what is something that you learned in 2023 that you want to take into 2024? Okay.
As the reason we even started this podcast, right? My voice has value. Like the things that I've learned have value, right? A lot of people don't speak up about certain things because they don't believe what they have value. A lot of people don't turn on the camera to start a podcast, or they don't go for that job promotion because
turn the camera on
because they don't believe in what they are providing has value, right? You know what I'm saying? Understand that even if it's something so simple, even if it's showing people how to color inside the lines, you are providing value, right? So the main thing that I want to add to that is understanding that my voice has value. What I have to say is meaningful, even if only one person takes something out of it.
That's deep. That's deep. Provide value, right? Don't chase the money, chase the value. You know what I mean? Like, you have to understand yourself, know your gifts, and be in flow. You know what I mean? Like, we want to be in flow in 2024. We don't want to do anything that's not within our wheelhouse, within our gifts. You know what I mean? And you have to find your purpose, right? And find your gifts so you can be in flow. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to do anything that's forced.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it's like, okay, like, say your gift, you think you have a gift of music. So you go in the booth and like you're rapping, but like your friends are like, bro, you suck. You know what I'm saying? If I was your friend, I would tell you, bro, you suck. I'm not saying music isn't your gift, but rapping isn't your gift. You may have a gift of music, but you might need to be the A&R.
Yeah.
You might need to be the producer, the engineer. You might need to be the listening ear to where you hear something and say, that's hot.
That doesn't make sense.
Or that's not. Maybe you should rearrange it like this. Or you may just have a problem with staying on beat. You can maybe I can write the lyrics, give it to Keith, because I can't stay on beat, right? At the same time, that's a writer, right? And you'll get writer's cred. You'll still get paid. You'll still get money.
Still working in your gift.
Still working in your gift. You know what I mean? So I challenge you guys to figure out your gifts and figure out your purpose and to be in flow, right? Like, we want to be in flow in 2024, and we don't want to do anything, right, that's feeling forced. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not it, right? Like, I've even gotten to the point, bro, where it's like, I don't even want to be considered a hustler anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people is like, oh, I'm a hustler. Bro, that's exhausting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to think for a living. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get to a point, bro, where it's like, I don't have to hustle anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to wake up every morning and have to hustle. Like, I want to create and then get paid off of your creation over time. Go chill out, get into a space where I get creative again, and then go again.
Just want to be.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have to every morning feel like, okay, I got to get this. All right, how do I get it? Or how do I get it? That's not sustainable. You know what I mean? That's why you see, a lot of these, you see entrepreneurs or rappers or celebrities kind of crash out to where they have these heart attacks or, go into seizures or they're in the hospital because I don't think they're in flow, and I think they're forcing it too much. And there's beauty in resting too. You know what I'm saying? There's beauty in not having to wake up and hustle all day. You know what I mean? So I think that's another thing that we should all be conscious of and be aware of where we're moving into 2024. And last one about 2024 is I think everybody should become creative. You know what I mean? Like, what did it say in the Bible, right? In Genesis, right? The first thing God did was in the beginning, he created. You feel me? So if we're made in his image, then we should all be creators.
You know what's so crazy about that? Watching Myron Golden, right? He said, when you introduce yourself to people, I am Keith, I am Hassan, right? You're introducing yourself. Well, you're introducing God before you introduce yourself, right? Because God said, I am the I am that I am, right? That's what you tell people about me. I am the I am that I am. So if I'm saying that I'm like God, then I need to create, right? Because that's what he put me on this earth to do. He put some type of passion into me and something that I'm great at doing. And I would be doing not only him a disservice, not only myself a disservice, but the people's lives that I'm supposed to change if that I do not get into that creative flow.
Facts. No, absolutely. And so it's in you, man. Like, you're only going to be fulfilled when you start creating. And you may say, oh, well, I don't have much. I only like watching YouTube videos. Well, start doing reactions on you watching other people's YouTube videos. Well, I just bake cookies. Like, that's all. Well, go start a business where you're baking cookies. You know what I'm saying? Well, like, I love tea. And so we'll go to every Starbucks and every coffee shop and try different teas and make TikToks from them. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you have, right, there's a way to become creative and make a business out of it, right? Because in the Bible it says that a good man leaves an inheritance for his kids' kids. You know what I mean? So God wants you to be profitable. He's a creator, right? You should be a creator. And in 2024, we gave you all of the steps to have a productive year, and so you can stick to your New Year's resolution. I'll give you this last stat, right? They say 78% of people don't stick to their New Year's resolution, right? 22% stick to some of them, right? So they're like, oh, okay, I made this long laundry list, but I only did 3 or 4 out of that, right? And of that 22%, I want to say only like 5 to 7% actually stick to their New Year's resolutions. So let's be that 5 to 7% based on the tips that we gave you, based on the experience that you have from New Year's resolutions on your own, and let's be 5%ers. Cool. What you got for the people, man?
Hey, man, as I said before, and I'm going to say it again, I started off the show with this. I'm going to end the show with this. Start with the truth. Stay with the truth. That way, when you end, you only have to answer for the truth.
Just like that, man. And Freewenow.
Till it's backwards.
Yes, sir, Ski.